internet, music, food, Wi-Fi, and music. I like Bram. I like Santin, Doppio Zero, Rosebank. I like anything with pop. You know, very simple guy. I like steak. Yeah, what's up? What's up? I'm fine. It's Swati in MANQ. You're now tuned in to Weekend Turn Up with Sports Scene. Let's go. So I'm a Swati boy. Grew up in Hlangano, Eswatini. Spent a lot of my time in the north of Johannesburg. Yeah, my name is Manqoba Shongwe, and you know, Miss Conqueror, and you know, that's basically where MANQ actually comes from. So at home, we listen to a lot of like Afro soul music, a lot of Simpiwe Dana, a lot of Tande Somazwai, a lot of Lira as well. So those are like my biggest like inspirations before, even prior to doing music. And in terms of hip hop, my mom always had like CDs of like 50 Cent and The Game and those kinds of artists. So like that's where like my foundation is. I'd say closer to me actually starting to do music. I listen to a lot of like L Sweatshirts and Mac Miller. And locally I listen to like a lot of Quest and AKA. I think those were like my foundation, especially the Afro soul sort of music, because when I think about it, I always try to like make my music as African as possible. So I always include that in whatever I do. So how it started, I used to write like a lot of poetry when I was in primary school, a lot of short stories, a lot of poetry, and you know, so I've always been like artistic in the sense of like writing. So that's where like it initially started. When I got to like high school, I experimented a little bit with music, but it wasn't like a full thing. I think where it really connected was first year of like varsity. I started putting up music on SoundCloud, really started to, you know, build my catalog and, you know, put up concepts that have to do with just like who I am, because I needed to find like another way of like expressing myself just aside from writing. I wanted to have like a voice, and that's how it actually started. My biggest challenge on the come up has just been trying to get as much content out there, you know, because I just want to like, you know, flood my concepts and just like put out as much music as possible. I'll say like that's the biggest challenge, but aside from that, you know, it's just always just been doing what I love doing, you know, putting out music, creating ideas and concepts, and really connecting with people. So that's my biggest thing, and that's the reason why I love doing it, and you know, just sort of also just as a way of like expressing myself, which is like a gift to me. So
yeah, they wanna talk, don't keep on my lane. Screw it, I put in your way for exposure.
My biggest inspirations in terms of like writing, I just speak from my experiences, you know, things that like, you know, music is a very like spiritual thing for me too. So I just speak on things that I've experienced and my perspective on like certain things or whatever situations that I'm dealing with at the time. And I'd say in terms of my songwriting, like I like listening to like a beat first and just letting it play, and then I'll do like I always start with the hook, so I'll do like just freestyle on it and just see how my voice sits on it, and from there the words just sort of like flow out of it, you know. So I would say my perspective, my experiences, the people that I'm influenced by, daily conversations, and most importantly my culture.
See the moves that I'm making, I'm the man, not a jerk. I don't see nobody else when I look in the mirror. Confessing with the
I would say it plays a very fundamental role, especially as like who I am. You know, I think representation is very important, and I like the fact that I can use my music to bring like the Swati pride. You know, make people feel like proud to be Swati back home as well, and just sort of bring something different to the game. And you know, one of the things that I really like about like the Swati language is like how it sounds on records. It's very like unusual. It's very unique. So I always have fun like writing and putting songs together because of like how they just sort of come together and just like how smooth it is, you know. And I think culture also has taught me like a lot about how to see things and how to deal with things, you know, especially in a sense of like respect and how to move within the game and the industry as well. Quest, I like Blackie, I like Lucas Raps, I like Ricky Rick, I like Aries. How old I am? Nice to see, actually. I like Nice to see. Lion. Money. Stay on the low, in terms of dream collabs, one of my biggest like dream like sort of thing is to work with Wizkid. I think is one of the most talented artists like in the whole world. I'd love to work with him, and I'm convinced that if I was to actually do a song with Questa, that would be like one of the biggest songs in the country. I think he's very talented, and also like how he uses his voice is also very interesting. Yeah, and weirdly, there is. I wanted to do. Well, this is also like a thing that I want to do. I want to work with Simphiwe Dana, but I want to actually have a song with her where she's actually just doing the harmonies and just like it would be like very interesting. But that's one of the dream collabs that I have.
Yeah,
In terms of producers, not in particular. I can work with anyone. I think I've learned a lot about patience. I've learned a lot about just trusting myself, and just like the self-belief of actually doing something that you truly love. There's like a lot of sacrifices that like I've made in order to push this passion because I love it so much. And just being connected to my spiritual self. I think like when I do the music, it's actually the most purest representation of who I am. So yeah, like I think that's such a powerful thing, just being able to choose your own path. It's not necessarily an easy thing to do. It's not like easy by any means, but one thing that I just do like is the fact that I can always just trust myself to show up for myself and to make music that I want to make and not have to sort of like succumb to anything else, because I know that at the end of the day, like I'm that guy. Yeah. I think the pandemic really changed things, because I was like networking a lot, meeting different artists with the prospects of like doing like a lot more events. So I really think that it really just changed the way that like things are supposed to go. But on the plus side, like it actually helped me, create more music. I was indoors a lot. I got to express myself better. I got to have like a vast catalog of music that I could do and just like think of creative ways on how to actually perfect my craft instead of just like the traditional way. It also created like a sense of urgency in the way that like I want to move and the goals that I have. It's like I need to execute things now. I want to try different things now as opposed to prior ways like okay, I'll do it like I still have time. But then now it's just like a different way of thinking. I think it has been like a very challenging sort of period, very challenging, but I've been able to adapt to it. Actually dropped the song today. So yeah, so I'm sure by the time that this is out, the song will be already doing its moves and its ways. So yeah, Ngoti is out right now. It's out everywhere. And yeah, shout out to everybody who's just showing support to the music and always showing that. What's up, Mfana Swati MANQ. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's official MANQ on all digital platforms, and yeah, stream the music.